Hello, it's Peter Merrick. Have you guys been watching the news? You know, the news, what you're allowed to see. It doesn't make sense. Recently, Hunter Biden's cell phone was found, and on it, we can't look at it because it is considered. If you look at stuff like that, you could be arrested. Those are the laws. However, he walks around free. You also see reference to his father. And I want to make a statement. By the time you and I find something out, they've already known about it. Let me share with you a real story. I was taking an elevator in 1999 and I saw these two older women who looked like grandmothers. And they were talking about how their stockbrokers just put them into Yahoo, which was very interesting because it was only about 2 months before the tech bubble back in 2000 blew up. See, by the time we find out things, they already know. There's no reason that you have not found things about our governments, things about our corporations that do not make sense. And the question is, are you going to wake up? Are you going to stay asleep? Because it's easy to stay asleep until it shows up on your shores. It's a fact. Until it shows up on your shores. See, when Chamberlain came back in 1938, signing a peace treaty with Adolf Hitler after he had taken over the Sudetenland, which was in Czechoslovakia, everyone went to sleep. The French, the British, even the Russians. And then we know the rest of the story. On September 7th, 1939, German troops rolled into what was Poland at the time, and the British Empire and the French declared war on Germany. And by the time that conflict was over, 100 million people had perished. And technically, the war did not end until the fall of the Berlin Wall. So you might think that you can go on and do what you've done. But the reason you've been able to do what you've done and you have a job and you have food is because people made sacrifices. They made sacrifices for you and I and generations that they did not know existed yet. I saw something that was chilling. I saw a 100-year-old veteran who was crying because the nation he had fought for was no longer the nation of today. He didn't recognize it. So, what are we going to hand off to the next generation? I've lived my life. You've lived your life. How about the children who haven't lived their life? Are we going to sell them into bondage? One of the things that I find really frightening is I'm not allowed to speak English anymore. I have to be very careful what I say. I can never make a comment about this. I had a video the other day that I made a comment about supporting the farmers over in Europe. I'm not going to say their name because I'm probably being listened to. And I saw my post go viral. Within 40 minutes, 15,000 people had viewed it. The last minute I looked at it, 900 people. It was on course to do several million. And then, boom, it was taken down. Now, do you know what a public utility is? It's something that we all need. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I didn't say anything wrong. But someone made the decision that what I said was inappropriate. See, true freedom, and this is why the American Constitution and the Bill of Rights is so beautiful. The First Amendment says that the state cannot form a religion, freedom of speech. And what that really means is what you think in here is nobody's business. You know why America was able to produce so much in innovation? Because it didn't prevent people from failing, it didn't prevent people from thinking, it didn't prevent people from trying and improving. That veteran who I saw crying on that video, the America that he knew was no longer. So I have a challenge for you today. And the challenge is this: just go out and ask people, is the world the same it was before March 2020? Is it? I'm going to leave you with one last historical truth. The way Hitler was able to take over, that most people never focus on, is he created something called the Gesundheit Pass against typhus. And they were able to go and label certain people dirty, and they did not have the clean pass of the Gesundheit Pass. And they segregated people. Well, we all know that the final solution happened a few years later, and they designated entire groups unclean. And they were prepared to exterminate entire groups of people. So don't think that you're going to get away. Just as many millions of people in 1938 who were okay with Germany taking over the Sudetenland in Czechoslovakia because it wasn't in their backyard, they soon found out that disease and cancers continue. Unless good people say no to tyranny, it doesn't end. Well, one thing that makes me so proud is there's millions of people who are willing to say something. There's a dead elephant in the room, and too often and too long we've been walking around and ignoring it. Go and talk to people. Don't be frightened to say something. And guess what? Those who actually really confront you and have a problem, it's because they are dealing with cognitive dissonance. They know that there's something wrong, and you saying it is threatening to them. Those are the people who are probably most likely going to join the awake. It's the ones who say nothing and say it's not my business and not think about it and you not get angry about it. Those are the asleep. Have an awesome day, and I look forward to us chatting again soon.